What's up, y'all? I haven't made too much videos lately, specifically in the NBA with the offseason going on, but I did cover Giannis to Miami. I gave my thoughts on it, and now, to catch up with a few things, we got LaMelo Ball to Minnesota. Now, this happened, I want to say like a week ago, but now I finally have my full thoughts on it. And similar to the Giannis trade, my thoughts haven't changed at all from when I first heard the announcement of LaMelo Ball going to Minnesota to right now. My thoughts have not changed. The only difference with this and the Giannis trade is I actually think this was a great move. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves are trading uh, three first round pick swaps from 2028, 29, and 2030, and a 2033 unprotected first round pick, all to the Hornets, as well as Naz Reid in return for LaMelo Ball and Josh Green. So, key takeaways: the Hornets get some draft capital and Naz Reid, and the Timberwolves get LaMelo Ball. I think this was a great move for both parties. Why? Because Minnesota, you've desperately needed a point guard. Okay, Mike Conley's cool, but he's up there in age. He's older. You needed someone young, fresher, electric to really work alongside Anthony Edwards, and I thought it would have been impossible to get a guy like LaMelo Ball, but never say never, because you pair up two guys that were from the same draft class, both picked in the top three, and you create an amazing backcourt with LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. And I don't, if you're confused on if this can work or not, you got to understand something. LaMelo Ball is a great offensive player, but where he really shines is his playmaking and passing more than his offensive ability to score. So you're telling me that he's going to be feeding the ball to, of all players, Anthony Edwards? This is a match. It's a great pair. I just don't have words for it. It's an amazing duo. I don't see how this team doesn't become a top threat in the West, especially because you got to think, before LaMelo Ball, and you're telling me it was just Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, uh, and Jaden McDaniels, this starting five, look, it ain't special by any means. And you're telling me they would go to wars with teams like the Thunder, the Mavericks when they had Luka, and now the Spurs? They were going to wars with these teams. And now they get younger and they get better. This is a this is a move that easily shows that the Timberwolves are here to dominate. And I don't see that many flaws in this trade for them because, yes, you do lose Naz Reid, so you do lose some depth at the big position, but the pros outweigh the cons here. LaMelo Ball is more of an impactful piece to a team than Naz Reid. That's just the truth. So this is by far a great move. And then, oh, they gave up too many draft picks. They also gave up 3 second-round picks, but no one uses second-round picks that crazy. So this is a huge deal, a huge deal. Those 3 draft picks, or 4 or whatever, those all are later, okay? 28, 29, and 2030. Those are just pick swaps. And then you think 2033, an unprotected first round pick, I'm not worried about that many years down the line. 2033, are we serious? I think 2033's draft class is made up of kids that are in middle school right now. The Hornets do not know and will not know who they are drafting with that pick for another 5, 6 years. These kids are only in middle school. So this draft pick, it means nothing to the Timberwolves right now because they're trying to win right now. They don't care for a pick that's going to happen in a whole nother decade, okay? They don't care about what's happening in 2033. They care about what's going to happen in 2026. And right now, it's looking like they're building up for a championship. Now, to take our focus and put it on the Hornets, this was also a great move. Yes, I was just bashing them a little about the draft pick, but I'm looking at it in terms of Minnesota's perspective. They don't need a pick that late. The fact that they were able to give up a pick that late just shows like, hey, we don't need it. We just got LaMelo for it. It's completely fine. And when you think in Hornets' perspective, you just added a free draft pick, a free first round draft pick. Yes, right now you don't know who you're going to pick, but at least it's more draft capital. So that's a victory there. Two, it's clear LaMelo Ball wasn't going to be your long term solution, as weird as that sounds, because you're coming off an amazing season with the Hornets. You made the postseason. You didn't go far, but you made it. And you have a new star rookie, Con Knipple, who's ready to take over the league. But I guess it's at the expense of LaMelo Ball. And of course, the time I'm recording this, it's July 1st. All these trades and free agencies going crazy right now. So obviously I am behind a lot. But as of right now, Kobe White, he just re-signed with the Hornets. So you have your point guard now, and you were fine losing LaMelo Ball anyways. You just gave him to an amazing team, though. But you got plenty of draft capital in return, and you got yourself a big. Naz Reid is extremely impactful. Not as impactful as LaMelo, but for what you need right now, you need a big man more than you needed LaMelo. And Naz Reid fills those shoes perfectly. This was a great move. You get great player, you get tons of draft capital, and it doesn't affect your roster because you still have your Brandon Miller, you still have your Con Knipple, and you now have Kobe White as a long-term solution. So this roster is looking great. You did lose Miles Bridges. He's going to Phoenix, but that's not as much to worry about. Bringing in a guy like Naz Reid was a much, much needed move. I don't see many flaws on this trade for either side. I think both teams won, honestly. I think Naz Reid and Charlotte are going to do just fine, and they're going to do some big things in the East eventually. I don't know how big of a leap they're going to take with Con Knipple, but they're going to take a leap for sure. And for Minnesota, if you were already competitive with a roster that's, lackluster to say the least, and you've freed up cap space to make this trade happen because you sent Julius Randle to Brooklyn and you got essentially nothing in return and people questioned it, well, now people don't need to question it because they know that now you have LaMelo Ball. That's why you wanted to free up the money so you can give it to LaMelo. This was a trade made perfectly. Both teams won. I don't see how you can say either team won or lost this trade. Both teams got plenty of things in return. The Timberwolves are clearly getting a win now piece, and he's a very good well now piece that works great alongside Anthony Edwards on paper. And then for the Hornets, you're building long-term success because you're bringing in positions you need long-term, and you're getting draft capital, which is always a long-term move. So overall, not a long video, but just wanted to give my perspective on it. I think this is a great trade for both sides. I think Minnesota definitely has the upper hand here in terms of right now because this is a win now move, like I said. But Charlotte definitely wins in the long game, and I'm happy to see what both of these teams do this up and coming season. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think this was a good trade? Do you think one team did win it over the other? Do you think that LaMelo Ball isn't going to live up to the expectations going to Minnesota and losing Naz Reid was a big piece? Or do you think that Minnesota is going to win the championship or Charlotte's going to make a massive leap next year? Let me know in the comment section below, and many more videos will be coming soon.